Welcome to the Michigan Golfer Show. Join us each week as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great game.
Terry has had a lot of input in this dinner over the years. His primary point is that inductors, such as me right now, should not talk more than a couple of minutes and shouldn't repeat what is said about the person in the program. Well, I wrote the story in the program, so I'm kind of stuck there. So I won't mention the radio network, television golf, tournaments, writing outlets, golf show, all the other things that qualify him for the Michigan Golf Hall of Fame. I saw Terry's quote in a very nice piece that Art McCafferty out there, his longtime partner in the Michigan Golfer, did a piece on last week and said that Terry told him that he was kind of afraid to be emotional. So don't worry, Terry. I won't tell the story about being stuck in the train track in Augusta, which you haven't even told your brother Tim I did. Or driving through that Niagara Falls in the rain a couple months ago on our way to the Masters where we couldn't see. And when it was my turn to drive, I felt his handprints like stuck in the steering wheel. So I met Terry nearly 30 years ago. And when he and Art called and asked to meet me, I was at the Detroit News. They asked if I thought Michigan Golf Magazine would make it, and if I would write for it. Happily, it did, and I did. Since then, Terry has become my best friend. We've worked on a number of things. Who's good at traveled and played many courses in Ireland, England, Spain, Florida, all over. I've enjoyed every minute I've known him. Terry is the best person I've ever played golf with. He's an excellent course manager, terrific sand player on the rare times he misses a fairway or a green, and he's the best idea person I've ever known. And when he gets an idea, a lot of people get good ideas. Terry follows through. Like the time he put together a 4-guy trip to California. We played Paso Tiempo, Cypress Point, thanks to Tom Cleary over there, around there. Spyglass Hill, Copley Hills, the links at Spanish Bay, and Pete Dye's Carmel Valley Ranch in 5 days. Terry definitely is Hall of Fame material, and I'm very, very happy to induct him into the Michigan Golf Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Jack, for that nice introduction. And I'm certainly going to have more to say about Jack in a moment. Someone asked me a while ago what I was going to talk about today, and if I was going to be nervous. Naturally, as some of my friends know me, and I pulled out some old material, a favorite line with Bob Newhart. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be nervous, but I'm going to be incredibly alert out here. Alert like I'm the first tee of a tournament, and I've been on the first tee now for about 3 months. But anyway, my remarks today have been written long ago in my mind, but never fully expressed. So I do want to take the time to thank the many people who helped me on this journey in the game and business of golf. And as the adage reminds us, in everything give thanks. Sports writers never want to be told that in a column that you buried the lead, meaning not moving up to the top of the column, the most essential news item, line, or topic. So at the top of this speech, let me thank the most important person in my life, the most beautiful and loving spouse of 39 years. Jim, you got to be really good on that one. My business partner and confidant, who's been with me every step of the way in the rigors and stress and comedy of 4 startup golf companies. As one of my friends said, Deb's the reason why Terry doesn't buy lottery tickets anymore. He's already hit the jackpot. I also hit the jackpot with my mom and dad, my daughters Sarah and Emily, and her husband Rich. Now, I will say, I do occasionally buy lottery tickets. It's from my granddaughter Lily. She's in a better tax bracket. Next, I want to thank the members of the Michigan Golf Hall of Fame and the Michigan Golf Foundation, and all the organizations represented for according me this wonderful honor. I'm extremely grateful and even more humbled by it, given the players and contributors' names inducted before me, as well as my fellow inductees today. I also want to thank the contingent of family and friends, including my brother Tim, one of my early golf heroes, and the big brother caddy I followed down to Mill Creek Park in Youngstown, Ohio. His friend Diane, my sister-in-law Sandy, and we're here today to lend their support. And there's several tables of close friends, mannequins, and former volunteers of the West Michigan Golf Show. Some of these shamelessly exploited friends, they risk personal injury every year working in the indoor hitting net at the Ford Fieldhouse. I can't tell you how much all of you mean to me. Good friends are there to celebrate your accomplishments, but they're also there to make sure you don't get too carried away with yourself. I'd like to give you an example, and this is a true story. I was in Florida when I received a call about the Michigan Golf Hall of Fame. And Deb and I were later that evening with some friends, and she happened to spill the beans about my induction. And one of them immediately said, "Wow, the Michigan Golf Hall of Fame. Terry, that's really going to be nice to be seen in your obituary." And I think of my obituary. You know, I've heard of friends keeping you well-grounded. Well, undergrounded? But to such friends, and especially some of my golf cronies gathered here today, let me repeat a line from a fellow Irishman I read in Golf Digest recently. There are 3 joys in golf: how you play, where you play, and who you play with. The first 2 are really overrated. It's really about spending time with friends. When we started Michigan Golfer back in 1983, the primary building stone was built around golf writers who knew the game. Byron Nelson once said, "Golfers should never do anything at the expense of balance." Likewise, writers should never do anything at the expense of clarity. In today's fast-paced world with so much fragmented communication, clarity is more vital than ever. I've been blessed to be surrounded and befriended by golf writers who have valued clarity over the cute, and the cutting, and the self-indulgent. To this point, I remember Greg Johnson interviewing Chichi Rodriguez one year in Grand Rapids and asking him about his Bay City friend Ken Neighbor, who was physically handicapped, yet who followed Chichi every step of the way. Greg quoted Chichi, "When you die, you know the only thing you can take with you is that you left something behind. A man is only as rich as the love he has. That's why I helped Kenny." You know, Chichi is an absolute gem with a huge heart, and he's a golf writer's delight. I remember one year, Tom Cleary and I were working on the TV broadcast, at the Grand Rapids Senior Classic, and Chi-Chi was asked about Gene Littler, who was just about to go into the playoff, in the Southern Dust playoff at the Highlands. This is what Chi-Chi said about Gene Littler. Don't say nothing bad about Gene Littler. He's one of the greatest persons in the history of the world. You know, we're thinking, okay, there's the caveman who discovered fire, Alexander the Great, Abe Lincoln, Susan B. Anthony, Einstein, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, and of course, Gene Littler. We just had forgot about it. But that was Chi-Chi, the way he would talk about people. I also want to thank my former partners at Great Lakes Sports Publication, most notably Art McCafferty, for all his support and friendship over the years. Certainly Michigan golfer's stature in the industry is due to Art's amazing energy and effort. I also want to thank Tom Cleary for joining me here today, my partner in All About Golf Radio. Tom, thank you for being here. We had a great run. A lot of people, especially non-golfers, know me in West Michigan as the golf guy here on Wood Radio, and I do want to pay them thanks, Gary Allen and Steve Kelly. The old material says I have a face for radio. The new material says, borrowed from Garrison Keeler, the master, the lighting is right. Also in Grand Rapids, I want to thank the management teams of Shows Band for allowing me to continue my work in association with the West Michigan Golf Show. The people of Shows Band, Mike Oberham and Carolyn Hall for first class, and so work so hard to put on a great golf show every year. I thank them for having me on the team. Okay, about this Jack Berry guy. How lucky could a young golf editor and golf promoter be to end up having Jack as his colleague, his mentor, his friend, and his frequent golf partner who retrieved his golf balls out of the water hazard. He's been a tireless advocate for not only golf, but for the state of Michigan, and he still covers the golf beat with unbelievable insight and curiosity. To me, he has been our answer to one legendary journalist who was once described, he can write better than anybody who can write faster, and he can write faster than anybody who can write better. Let me just add, and without any Chi-Chi hyperbole, Jack Berry is the greatest golf reporter in the history of Michigan. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been so fortunate to turn my passion, my love for golf, my love for Michigan, into my vocation. Due to the support of my family, so many individuals and golf organizations, it's been my good fortune to end up here today accepting this tremendous honor. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.